I went to Les Schwab and I got an estimate on my car to fix the inner tie rod. And they wanted $190.19 to replace one inner tie rod at Les Schwab. Well, that's a lot of money to just replace one tie rod. So what you see in front of you is 4 pieces to the tie rods. I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to show you how. To do this, you need several tools. For instance, you're going to need some. Here's a little bit of, it's called thread lock. It's blue. It's basically grease, but it's really good and it's very expensive if you buy the really big tube. I just have a little teeny bit. You only need like 3 to 4 drops on each of the tie rod and outer tie rods. It was $1.99 was all. Now the tie rod ends are $19.99 each, and that's these. These are the outer tie rods. This is goes like this and hooks onto your wheel, the suspension. So when you turn your steering wheel, these turns your tire. And if this comes loose, then you lose your ability to steer, and that's a bad thing. But mine, right here, as you'll see in the pictures, is flat as a pancake, and there's no grease in it anymore. It's all wore out and extremely old. That's not even what they want to fix. They're not even going to bother to fix this one. They only want to fix one because it happens to be loose. Well, I'm of a theory that if you're going to go in there and do one, you should just do his brother, right? Anyway, I got 2 of them. They're 20 bucks a piece. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And now, so that was on this one. Now you have to, okay, let's go to this first. These are the inner tie rods. These happen to cost me only $12.99 a piece. This is what would cost me $190 for Les Schwab to have to fix for me. This is your inner tie rod. It goes on there just like this. You can tell if it's bad if you can wiggle this. And I can't move that to nothing. If you can move this around, then that means it's bad. And that's definitely not a good thing. So what happens is that you need a special tool to take this little puppy off. You actually need 2 of them. And you have to either purchase them, which is going to cost you anywhere from $50 to $125 I've seen. It just depends. Or you can rent the tool. I chose to rent the tool. Now, to rent the tool, this part here cost me $20. This right here. $20, and then the other piece was $35. And what you do is when it's underneath your car like this, and I'll show you on the car, it'll be under there like this, and you're sitting over here where your tire is. Well, you reach in there and you hook this on, so it goes on just like that. See, it has these little indentations here where this just slides right in like that. And then you take this long honky tool and you shove that puppy up in there. Oh, well, normally you have to take this nut off, of course. Sorry. You'll have that nut off. And then you slide that up on there and it's like this. And then you put your socket on the end of it, your ratchet, and then you can break it loose. You might have to have a breaker bar, but that's how you get in there, and that's how you take your old tie rod. But you only use them like once in a great while, so it's a lot easier to rent them than it is to purchase them. Now you might be saying, well, $55 is a lot of money. It is a very lot of money. However, you get that back when you take the tool back. And by the way, you can have it for 90 days. I don't need it that long. Just overnight will be fine. Maybe 2 if I get too tired. Or they take too hard for me to break all the joints and stuff. But, so for $55, I can rent the 2 pieces I need. And then as long as I keep them in good condition, kind of hard to break, I can take them back and I get the $55 back. Not a bad deal, huh? Now, this whole thing, oh, and I had to buy one more thing. I had to buy a little bitty socket that cost me $4.49 because I have a 1/2-inch ratchet and that guy takes a 3/8 one. So I had to go from the 3/8 to 1/2 inch so my ratchet would fit. So for $5 there, and then each one of these were, let's say 20 and 20 is 40. So that's 45. And then these guys, $13 a piece is 26. So 45 and 26 is about, well, you know, for the whole thing, it's less than $100 for renting it. Now I'll get some of that money back. So for under, right around $100, and a lot of my trouble and time and pain, because it does hurt. I mean, I'm almost 60 years old, you know, and it takes its toll on this old lady. But for $100, roughly thereabouts, I can do both sides and have a nice, clean, new, brand new set for the same price that it would have cost me, or less than what it cost me to pay to just have one inner tie rod done at Les Schwab. Which would you do? You know, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? If you can do it. Now the other thing I forgot is this little guy here. This is I got this at Walmart. It's just a cheap one. It's a pistol grease gun. And each of these fittings that I showed you, I'm gonna put it back so you can shame on me. But right at the top here, right there is this little fitting that goes in there, and these don't have any grease in them right now. So you'll have to put grease in them. And so I don't have a grease gun. So I bought a grease gun. And that was $14.88, and then the tube of grease was $2.47. And that's not bad because I figure, you know, I have to grease up my car eventually, you know, the wheels, I mean the, you know, different aspects of it and so forth. And I don't plan on getting another car for some time. If I took out this bolt and forgot the nut and forgot to put it back. So, you know, it's a good thing to have. So I don't think that's a bad investment. So still, overall, it pays me to do the job if I can myself, and I can. So it doesn't take very many tools. I'll show you in the video, and to do the job. So the hardest part is breaking everything loose that's been on the car for so long. It's a 2002, so you know, some of this stuff has been here a while, and it's going to be stubborn. But I'll just have to bear through it, and that's why I got the breaker bar, because they're worth their weight in gold. I'm going to proceed to jack my car up here in my garage and check this out myself. Now I'm hoping that you can see under here. Maybe you can't, but there's a little lip right here, right there, where you put this jack at to jack up this car, this van. And we're going to jack it up, and then I'm going to take off the front tire. And since this blog, well, YouTube channel is my life, mine and Bucket's, this is all part of our life, so come along with us and let's see what it looks like. Right now I'm going to jack this up, so I'm going to put this down. No sense wasting batteries for you watching me to jack it up. Be right back. The lug nuts are one turn loose, so now I can go ahead and jack up the vehicle so that the weight of the tire is, the weight of the car is off the tire. I also don't like to take chances and just trust mechanical things like cheap little jacks. So I have these little boards, and I stuck a few of them underneath the car here. So if that jack gives out, at least it'll come down on this and save my life until I can get out from under there. Always protect yourself. Always protect yourself. Especially if you're out working by yourself. You have got to be the one who takes your life into your own hands. You have to protect yourself. So take that extra step. It don't take much. Put those bricks under there. And now we're going to do a little inspection here. I'm going to show you a couple things. This right here is called the outer tie rod. It connects right here to your tire, to your wheel. And so when you turn your steering wheel, then your wheel turns. And if that goes bad, well then your steering can go haywire. Now what they're telling me is that inner tie rod way back up in there is bad. And see, and I take my glove off, is if you, let me see, this is all wore. This boot right here, it's a piece of garbage. So this tie rod needs to be replaced. Have to have it for work tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to get it done, even if it's an all-night project. First thing I need to do is I'm going to loosen this bolt right here. This nut, is a very important nut. It is the nut that determines the alignment of your vehicle. So whatever you do, don't go messing around with this nut too awful much. I'll show you what to do. Right now, all I'm going to do is break this nut loose, and then I'll be right back. Okay, what we want to do now is there's a cotter pin right here, and what we want to do is we want to straighten that out so we can take that off. So just take a needle nose pliers and straighten out one side, and then sorry if my head's in the way of the, let's see if I can get in here while you can still see as well. Forgive me if you see a sweaty, dirty face, but I ow! Huh. Just ran my face into it. Kind of what happens when you work on cars. You get dirty and sweaty. There's a cotter pin right here. Oh, there, I got part of it. And I just got to get the other side, which I cannot see very good. Okay, down and dirty here. Oh, there it is. Sometimes you get into some weird positions working on cars. There we go. Okay. And you sure don't want to break your only cotter pin. Looks like somebody's been in here before, because this cotter pin's only half here. I'll show you this. I knew I should have picked up a couple cotter pins at the store, and I might have to walk down to the parts store. It's only a couple miles from the house, and pick up some. But we only have one vehicle, and I knew it. I knew I should have, but shoulda, woulda, couldas don't always help, do they? It might be a little struggle getting it out of there. This is a 2002, so it's probably been in there a while. Yeah, let me get to this. I'll be right back.